Most people go to the gym to build an unbreakable body, but in reality, they're building a fragile physique. You're breaking PRs, you're getting bigger, you're getting stronger. But if I asked you to go run a mile, could you do it? Can you go play basketball with your kids without your shoulders hurting you? Can you get up off the ground without struggling and your back killing you the next day? We've been conditioned to get stronger inside a gym, but that's not how the real world works. We have been getting great at getting strong at movements that life doesn't ask us to do. In this video, I'm going to go over why the gym is silently making you weaker and the three switches you need to make today to ensure that you're actually building an unbreakable body that's going to last for the long haul. The first major switch that you need to do is you need to treat cardio as its own workout. Most people will go and do their workout for the day in the gym and then throw in cardio as an afterthought. 10 minutes on the treadmill or the stair stepper or elliptical, call it a day and be done with it and feel like they've done something. In reality, cardiovascular training needs to have its own workout. Right now, I jog/run 2 times a week. And I didn't just start out doing this. I slowly progressed and increased my workload until I was able to do right now 3 miles twice a week. Now, you don't need to run and do cardio, every single day. You need to vary it up. One day you can do sprints. One day you can do more long distance stuff. Just something that is good for your heart and your cardiovascular system. I treat my cardio and running workouts as leg workouts. Your legs were never meant just to be strong for 3 or 4 sets in the gym. You walk on them every day. They have a very strong endurance capacity to them. And the only way you can train them effectively is to put a lot of load on them. And the best way to do that is jogging, sprinting, playing with your kids. Again, start off slow, vary it up, do some zone 2, zone 3 training. If you have questions about what zone 2 and zone 3 are, check out this little diagram. It can kind of give you a little breakdown of where everything is. But you want to start off with zone 2 before you really push yourself. And zone 2 is your breathing is slightly elevated, but you can still hold a conversation. The second shift you need to make is you need to get away from doing stationary movements and into doing more unilateral work. Let me explain. In the gym, one of the most popular machines is like a pec deck machine or a chest flat machine. They're great for isolating your chest. Cool. But that's all you're doing. You're stationary, you're sitting down. Instead, when you do something like a push up, your whole body is working. You're working your abs, you're working your core, you're working all the stabilization muscles that you're not having to work when you're sitting down doing a workout. Also, start incorporating unilateral work or one leg or one body part at a time. For example, if you're going to be doing, say, a one legged RDL, you're going to be focusing more on one specific part of side of your body. You're going to be able to make it stronger so that you're able to survive more real world things. When you're running, you're not running on both feet at the same time. You're not walking with both feet on the same time. So why are we training this way? Doing lunges, doing the knees over toes style lunges, whatever it is. We need to be incorporating more of that into our workouts and less of the leg presses and things where you're only working your quads and you're not even working them for a long duration. Get back to more real world stuff like pull-ups, for example, instead of lat pull downs. Pull-ups are one of the best exercises you can do, and they're my primary back exercise that I do every week for my pulling. You know, they're so much more effective than a lat pull down. And yes, they are a lot harder, but there's different progressions you can take while you're getting used to and building up that endurance to be able to actually do a full pull up. The third phase that you really need to switch is you need to start training from the ground up. Let me explain. Everybody loves the bench press. I do too. And I'm not saying that you can't do some of these lifts. What I'm saying is that you need to incorporate these three switches, and then with what's left over, yeah, you can throw in a set of bench press if you love it. But you still need to be doing the other things that are building up your total body and making you more durable so that you can last for the long haul. One of my favorite exercises that I've been doing now is a high pull from the ground. It's kind of like an upright low row with a snatch, combination type thing. So what I do is I'll grab either a dumbbell or a barbell and I'll do unilateral, and then I'll also do a bar and use both, sides of my body at the same time. And I will pick the weight directly from the ground. I will pull it up and then extend it over my head. Real world movement. And then I don't throw the weight down. I control it and lower it. Most people are only strong in one part of the lift. Well, you need to be strong for the whole entire lift. What happens if you got to pick up, say, a table and move it somewhere? Like, say it's an outside table and you need to move it somewhere else in the yard, or you're cleaning up the deck or whatever. Well, the easiest way to do it is pick it up, put it above your head, and then put it down. But are you going to just throw that table down? It might break. You have to be strong enough to pick it up above your head, but also strong enough to lower it with a controlled motion and put it on the ground. Train for real life. Also, you need to start working on things that help you get up off the ground. Start doing stuff without your hands to get off the ground. You don't want to be one of those people that has to roll over, get onto your knees, and then stand up. Now, that may be where you're starting, and that's fine. But you can do things like the Turkish get up. You can do things like the cross legged stand up, or just raising up off your knees and rocking back into a standing position. That's what's going to build the durability that translates into the real world. When you go to the gym, and believe me, I spend a lot of time in the gym. and I loved it, and I still do love it, but you get stiff. I can tell you for a fact that the strongest, the leanest, and the biggest that I have been in my life has been when I have combined all three phases that I just went over with some gym movements. I always put on more weight, more size, more strength when I'm running and when I'm picking up things from the ground, putting them above my head, and doing unilateral work every single time. And then whenever I get lazy or I'm not feeling good and I go back to traditional gym training, I always wonder why I don't look as good and feel as good as I did before. The reason is because our bodies are meant to do more than just lift weights in a gym. It's cool that you can bench press 300 pounds, but can you go and play football with your kids? Can you shoot a free throw without your shoulder bothering you? Can you go run a mile? What happens if you have to run sometime? What if you have to go help somebody and you don't have a car? How are you going to respond? Are you just going to walk there slowly in an emergency situation? Are you going to be able to sprint and run without tearing a hamstring or an abductor? You have to stop trying to be strong in the gym and instead get strong for the real world. If you want more tips like this, make sure you follow and subscribe. I'm all about helping people to transition from being strong in the gym to being strong for what really matters. And that's your family, your friends, your community, and the real world.